you ever feel like part of your soul is lying dormant? Yearning, waiting for something, a chance, a place, a dream, something you can't quite put into words, driven by the belief that when you find this key, this ineffable answer between the seams of being, that you might unlock a deeper potential in your heart. Journal entry number 1. This sentiment has followed me through life at various intensities. A persistent promise that if I could find a key to unlock my potential, I may finally become the person I felt destined to be. I've often imagined a world sculpted by the tip of my quill, ink flowing like blood onto parchment, a romance of life led in passion. Yet, though I've settled into routines and accepted roles that offer fleeting pleasures, none have truly fulfilled me. Not as a poet, nor as an artist. The compulsion to express myself has always burned within, but still, true fulfillment has remained elusive. Too often in the relentless rush of life, the artist's purpose fades, slipping quietly into corners of a distant dream. You know this feeling as well as I. The pursuit of becoming isn't always a riddle gnawing at the mind, but rather an unspoken pull, a tether wrapped around the soul itself, demanding to be acknowledged without explaining what it takes to be seen. 3 weeks ago, I confess, foolishly, that I was blinded by routine. That very key I had sought for so long was placed directly into my grasp, and I nearly let it slip away. When I first glimpsed it, I recall thinking to myself, I've no place nor time for this. Earlier today, it dawned on me, in reflection, this had been the very system of thought that had held me back from so many opportunities in life. So, here in this journal, I shall record what I believe is the embracing of a journey and experiences my soul has craved for so long, and through them, my greater becoming as an artist. As this is the start of a new journal, one that has been gathering dust without purpose for months, without a spark of inspiration to fill it. Do note the date, October 2nd, 2030. My name is Mortimer Hawthorne. I have lived 27 years. 27 years as a man compelled to express himself through the arts. For years I have felt a deep yearning for something I haven't known the words for, nor even a complete vision. Until today. Gothe Residency of the Arts. I have been invited by the founder himself to a place that welcomes artists from all around the world, not only allowing them the time, space, and resources to nurture their creativity, but also giving them, for that enchanted while, what seems to be a home, belonging, community, purpose. My mind is racing, truly. I'll remind you, I had only ever dreamed such a place could exist in a century like this. My entire life, I've seen glimpses of the world of my desires, woven into the past. And to now grasp this opportunity in my hand, I see that my affinities have meant something. There is indeed a place that exists to ignite and inspire the imagination of all who enter within its walls. I have rarely felt the excitement that I do now in my chest. An experience like this could be everything. Everything I never realized I so desperately needed. When I say I was foolish to first brush off this letter before reading it through, I trust you understand. In the rush to live, potential lies in commitments most are unwilling to make when they demand a disruption to the routines we so fiercely guard for ourselves. These are the commitments we hesitate to make, for they require that we unravel the false comforts we have cloaked ourselves within. Commitments to better demonstrate my meaning, such as finally sitting down to write the first draft of a story that has been festering in your heart for years, or mapping out a fading dream that has foretold the path to the soul's desires for as long as you can remember. Devoting oneself to the arts is not always about grand transformations, but rather the quiet, persistent challenge of sculpting something meaningful within the constraints of everyday life. The world may not change overnight, but through the act of creation, we may find moments of clarity, purpose, and expression. What do we have if not the capacity to shape the world of our desires through the act of creation? One brushstroke, one word at a time? I hadn't given that sentiment much thought the first time I noticed the letter on my desk. The heading read, "An invitation." Something that, in the rush of the day, didn't warrant my immediate attention. I was busy, after all, caught up in the routine I had built for myself, one that rarely allowed time for interruptions, let alone invitations that might demand a shift in my life's direction in a single night. I brushed it off, assuming it could wait until later, when I had more time, when I was ready for it. But even as I turned away from the half-opened envelope, the words lingered, subtle and persistent, like a whisper you can't quite make out, but you know you're meant to hear. The letter sat unopened for hours as I went about my evening routine, its presence an unspoken promise of something greater, though I wasn't ready to embrace it just yet. In reflection, it's been that way of thinking that has held me back from my potential for a very, very long time.